Welcome to Africa Edge TV, situated at Obokun Avenue, Ilesha, Osun State, Nigeria. My name is Deborah Adebayo. Today, edition on newspaper review. This is a segment whereby we discuss everything that is happening in our country, in our nation, in our community, here and there in the newspaper, various newspaper. I have the Punch with me this morning. I have the Vanguard. I have the Daily Times. I have the Premium Times. So we'll be discussing on what is trending and what is happening in the country this morning. Right in front of me from the Punch newspaper, he says grid collapses 105 times in 10 years despite $1.4 billion loans. Can you imagine? The grid collapses 105 times in 10 years. We'll come back to that story in full times. Also, from the Punch newspaper here with me, it says, my mom forcing me into prostitution, Delta schoolgirl alleges. Can you imagine? My mom forcing me into prostitution, Delta schoolgirl alleges. Still from the Punch newspaper. Right in front of me, I'm moving straight to the Vanguard newspaper. Here it says, high cost of toothpaste, Nigerians return to chewing stick. That is what the economic of the situation in Nigeria take us to. It says high cost of toothpaste, Nigerians returns to use chewing stick. Also from the same Vanguard newspaper, Civil War, you supervise Igbo massacre, IPOB replies, go on. It says, you supervised Igbo massacre, IPOB replies, go on. That is from the Vanguard newspaper. Moving forward to the Premium Times, here it says, many killed as government attack Anambra communities during traditional festival. Many killed as government attack Anambra community during traditional festival. We'll hear the full story later. Here also I have Army Group dismissed death rumor as fake news. The Army Group says that they dismissed the death rumor of, as one of them was rumored that it was there, they said it is a fake news. Now let's hear the full gist story. Right from the Punch newspaper, I said grid collapses 105 times in 10 years despite $1.4 billion loans. That is from the Punch newspaper. It says, despite the huge investment in the power sector, the national grid collapses about 105 times under the administration of President Bola Tinubu and his predecessors, Muhammad Buhari. Finding on Saturday shows that Nigerians secured about 10 loans worth $4.36 billion from the World Bank over the past decade to address key challenges in its power sector. Although not all 10 World Bank loans has been disposed completely, the federal government and other multilateral agencies have supported the country power sector financially. They have provided billions of naira to revamp the industry, but despite the fund, the sector is still struggling, witnessing incessant grid collapses, which has repeatedly plunged the country into widespread blackout. Both Buhari and Tinubu, members of All Progressive Congress, promised to turn things around positively in the power sector. However, it appears the challenges of power sector overwhelmed the Buhari administration, which took over former President Goodluck Jonathan of the People Democratic Congress. Data obtained from different sources, including the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, show that the grid collapses approximately 93 times during the 8-year rule of Buhari from June 2015 to May 2023. Also, from the same Punch newspaper, whereby I said, my mom forcing me into prostitution, Delta schoolgirl alleges. Can we imagine? My mom forcing me into prostitution. This news is from Delta State, whereby a schoolgirl says her mother was the one forcing her into going prostitute. A 15-year-old schoolgirl in Delta State, Emanuela Monday, has cried out for help from her hideout after escaping from a man who her mother allegedly gave her to, urging relevant authorities to rescue her from her abusive mother, who she accused of allegedly trying to force her into child prostitution in exchange for money. Nigerians, this is the news from Delta State. This 15-year-old girl child cried out for help that her mother was forcing her to go into prostitution, into something she doesn't want to. For what? For money. Emanuela, who claims to be in a senior secondary school at Trumpetan School, Efuron, in Uwe local government area of Delta State, alleged that her biological mother has contracted her to unnamed men to take sexual advantage of her. This was contained in a video cited by our correspondent in Warri, where the girl specifically stated that her mother took her to meet a man in an hotel on Sunday and thereafter eloped after dropping her off with the man. Emanuela said, "My mother has been taking me to men, and last Sunday after church, she took me to meet a man in a hotel. She left and said that she was coming back. She did not come back till evening and left me there." We can all see what is happening in our country this time around. All I have to say is that may the good God help us all. Right from the Vanguard newspaper, here with me it says, high cost of toothpaste, Nigerians return to chewing stick. High cost of toothpaste, Nigerians return to chewing stick. We all know what the country is talking about. We all know what the economy of the state is talking about. Gone are the days when we compete with brands and qualities of toothpaste. Even the least of the toothpaste costs an arm these days, and only the super rich can afford them. Both for an average family would depend on God's mercy for a moderate 1 or 2 meals out of the 3 required in a day. Spending 5,000 naira on toothpaste that may not last 2 weeks for an average family of 7 is a misplaced priority. Indeed, it is a misplaced priority whereby an average family cannot afford to buy toothpaste. So, it is no wonder that chewing stick are back to the stable of family needs economy and lifestyle have discovered. Originally, chewing stick was a value hygiene therapy, most for the teeth due to their high medicinal content. Chewing stick are ordinary from plants with rich medicinal values, and families of old insistent members compulsorily use them every morning. However, with the spread of civilization, toothpaste pushed the habit far into oblivion. But now, the harsh economy has restricted the practice, according to Mr. Vincent Osamisi, a photographer. He reintroduced the use of chewing stick in his house when he spent 4,000 naira on toothpaste in 3 weeks. We can all imagine what is going on in this nation, going back to the roots because of the economy of the nation. May God help us. We are still, and you are still seeing, you are still listening to Africa Edge TV, situated at Obokun Avenue, Ilesha, Osun State, Nigeria, on Newspaper Review. I'm still with you, and you're still with me, still on the Vanguard newspaper, before me this morning. Says, you supervise Igbo massacre. IPOB replies Gowon. Let's know what he's talking about. The founder of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, have responded to the leader of a former military junta of the Nigerian government, General Yakubu Gowon, who supervised the country's civil war, telling him that he, Gowon, was the originator and cause of the unrest that claimed the lives of over 3 million Biafras. Gowon, in his 30th birthday interview, blamed the Southeast for an attempt to secede from Nigeria, which he said brought about his supervised massacre of over 3 million Eastern Nigerian people between 1967 and 1970. Responding to the Gowon's interview, the founder and vision bearer of the original IPOB, Emeka Siri, said, "I have always said that if there is no secession, there won't be a breakout, and there will not be a question of civil war, because it got to the stage that the situation was getting pretty clear that a part of the country, the Southeast, wanted to secede." I read General Gowon's speech where he decided to hide the truth about the real cause of the war between Nigeria and Biafra. He is laboring in vain to wash and launder his image tainted by the atrocity he and his Nigerian soldiers committed against the Biafra. The truth is finally coming out gradually. He has told us that he was sick after the meeting at Aburi in Ghana and could not make the announcement of the agreement reached between Nigeria and Biafra about confederation or regional autonomy, so that every region will govern itself and develop at its own pace. Gowon said he did not prepare very well for the meeting and did not go with his secretary. He came back from Ghana and became sick because Odumegwu Ojukwu went to the meeting fully prepared and presented a superior argument on regional government. It was General Gowon's failure to implement this agreement for the confederation that caused the war. General Gowon, with due respect, I want to address you as an elder. You are 90 and do not know when you will depart from this world to face your maker. We expect you to talk the truth. Confederation is not secession. The East accepted the confederation agreements, but she turned around and violated the agreements. This is between the Igbos, the Nigerians, and the Biafra. May God help us all. Also, this is still newspaper review whereby we tell you what is happening among the nation across the country as well from different newspapers. This is the newspaper that comes across this morning. You can just go through them, go through the newspaper and take one or two newspaper to read in-depthly. Before I go this morning, there is this one from Premium Times. This says, many killed as government attacked Anambra community during traditional festival of our prayers are with Anambra's community. At least 10 people were killed on Sunday when government attacked Nibo, a community in Akwa South local government area of Anambra State, Nigerian Southeast. The incident occurred during the Nibo community celebration of the Onwa Asa, a traditional festival. Source told Premium Times that the attackers arrived in a Lexus SUV, entered a restaurant at Oye in Wochichi Market in the community and opened fire on the victims. They drove in aggressively and started shooting everyone around, both inside and outside the restaurant. Emeka Ofomata, a witness, told the newspaper. We don't know what the government are doing with these terrorists. Our lives are no more secure anymore. In this nation, you'll be moving to go and buy something, you'll be afraid and your heart will be shaking. May the good God restore our country back again. Also, from this day's newspaper, from This Day newspaper. I have the last newspaper with me this morning, which is from the This Day newspaper, which says Chief of Army Staff Taoreed Lagbaja speaks to Tinubu on health status. It says thus: the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, yesterday spoke to President Bola Tinubu and seized the opportunity to brief him on his health status, contrary to the swirling death rumor. The president, according to a source at the defense headquarters, was excited to hear the voice of his army chief and pray for his quick recovery. This nonetheless, the army headquarters has dismissed the trending death rumors of Lagbaja, describing it as fake news. Reacting to the post by a former director of strategy and communication to former President Goodluck Jonathan, Jackson Ude, the army cleared the air of the death rumor. At the same time, a pro-Tinubu group, the Renewed Hope Agenda, The Way Forward, has also asked Nigerians to disregard the rumor, saying as a Muslim, the injunction was to be buried almost immediately. Hinting that the health status of the army chief, a source at DHQ said the president spoke to Lagbaja, who had a clear conversation with the president, and he was in high spirits. The president was very happy and prayed fervently for his quick recovery. I can tell you, therefore, that the rumor about his death is not correct. This information is authentic and as such rubbishes the ungodly rumor about his death. He is recuperating and not dead. They said he is recuperating. He is not dead. And our prayer is with the Chief of Army Staff that you will come back to your feet, you will come back to your normal self, and you will meet us healthily here in your nation, in your country. And that will be all on today's newspaper review on Africa Edge TV, situated at Obokun Avenue, Ilesha, Osun State, Nigeria. My name is Deborah Adebayo. See you same time.